Woo! It's happy hour. When I'm feeling low, when my love starts to flow. It's for you, Dr. Love. He's got
I hear it.
He's the reason why my face is on the glow. There's no wish was really like acting every day. Oh, you can that's what Dr. does to me. Dr. does to me. Dr. Love. You can't survive everything. You can love again. Dr. Love. Dr. Love. You ain't got no competition. Only he writes my prescription. Dr. Love. Dr. Love. Dr. Love.
Woo! Woo!
Come here, baby, come here. Mine's up, mine's up, mine's up. What's going on, people in the building? This is a beautiful day to do beautiful things. We are embarking in something really, really great. The energy is high. The love is high. Everything is high. Everything is high. You know, everything is just filled with love, filled with high vibrations, filled with miracles. Everything is just filled with miracles for us to do great things. This is the time. So I want to welcome you all to my radio show. This is the Enlightened One segment, and I definitely want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to say that if you are logged into this call, it is not a coincidence that you are logged into this call. You were divinely orchestrated to be on this call today because something very, very powerful is taking place on the planet right now. And so today, I chose this day to take the day off. Okay, to tell my job, kick rocks, because this is my job. This is my job. My job is to get on radio, be on TV, be everywhere, and just share my love, my energy, and just everything that I am, and encourage and empower people to be everything that they are, just by them embracing me and having an opportunity to absorb some of this feel good that sometimes could be a bit much, but it's okay. That's who I am. You don't like it, hang up. Try somebody else again. But anyway, I decided to bring together some of the world's greatest healers, mentors, teachers, speakers, and that's what you're experiencing tonight. And one very, very powerful brother that we have that I'm going to be interviewing in just a few minutes. I know you guys are tired of waiting. Goes by the name Dr. Love Jones. Okay?
Ooh, what up? What up? What up? What up? Let's go.
Jones. So it's always a pleasure to even be surrounded by this positive beacon of light. You know, he knows his stuff. You know, he knows his stuff. He knows he's also a mindset coach, just like yours truly. So it was like when one of my coaches explained to me what I was like, my brother is a mindset coach. And she said, well, so are you. and I hit him up right away. And I was like, you know, I just never thought of that aspect, but you know, to have somebody who actually builds careers tell me, you deal with the mind, you deal with the brain, you deal with all of that. What does that make you? A mindset coach? Yes, you're a life coach, but you deal with the mind. So, you know, stay in your lane, girl.
You know, and see, the crazy part is I was in Guyana when you gave me that message.
Yeah.
So, hey, you know, and the funny thing is that when I decided to call myself, I started going as a mindset coach because, like, that's not something I've ever seen before. It's nothing I have copied, but I kind of felt to believe that and y'all going to hear my story during this interview, but the things I went through in my life, I got through it just by training the way I think. So I felt okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Some
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying though is that like from the
No, you know what you're doing? I think, do you got like 2 lines on or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
I got the video.
all right, it's all right, it's all right, it's okay, it's all right. Okay, go ahead. 'Cause you and Leah, both of y'all. That's what all the feedback coming from y'all two fools.
No, but listen, don't. It's not me.
That's why I'm like, okay, I can't be now. I've been online all day and I ain't been hearing all these squeaky tweakies. Cash, bring your phone back. You can bring your phone back, baby. It's these nuts. All right, I said you can bring your phone back. It was them because they got the any phone on. All right. So Dr. Love Jones. First of all,
Yes.
who is Dr. Love? Tell me, who is Dr. Love Jones, and what made you, who gave you the right to take on the name Dr. Love Jones?
All right. All right. I'm gonna tell you a little story, small story. And I just got reminded of this the other day because you know how Facebook they give you a flashback of all your posts, like to the year to date. Well, yesterday was my anniversary of me calling myself Dr. Love Jones on Facebook. I had the first one was in Dr. Love Jones, it was just Love Jones. And the funny thing is, when I decided to call myself Love Jones, it was just something because at the time I was talking a lot about relationships, love, and I was just in that vibration. So I just said, no, Love Jones. My last name is really Jones, so I just said, no, I call myself Love Jones. And I've got so much negative feedback, not negative, and it's more a joking matter, but in so much it's like, yo, Love is a girl name. How you gonna call yourself Love and all that? And it was funny reading some of those comments, but what I've come over the years to realize is that love is the highest vibration,
yes, it
which is 528. 528.
Well, let me it's not the highest, but it is the beginning of going the higher vibrations, because enlightenment is actually the highest vibration. I just want to bring correction on that. But it is
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, but thank you. But that's the first vibration that's above 500.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah, and that's it's 528 to be exact. So. And so I wanted to own that because I felt like, you know, of course, that's the thing that I wanted to own love, because I felt like with a lot of problems that we have in the world because of lack of love for self, lack of love for the neighborhoods or the environments that we're in, lack of love for everything. So if you notice all the killing, all the crime, or all the negativity, it comes from a source of lack of love. And usually it starts from with self.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So that's what made you decide to call yourself Dr. Love Jones.
Yes, because if I can spread the love, we're going to be in a better place in this world.
That's so true. That's so true. And I'm glad that you mentioned that. You know, one thing with what's happening on the planet right now is we all, as beings of light, have to raise the vibration on the planet if we want to see something different. And the only way for us to be able to see something different is to be that love, because that's what we are, you know. Theoretically speaking, you know, we can be a whole bunch of things, but the only thing that really is real is love. So anytime we're vibrating at a lower vibration of fear, deceit, or guilt, shame, you know, all of those emotions, they exist, but they're learned emotions, you know. But before we get into this place, God was love, and He is love, and He always will be love. You know what I mean? And you are a reflection of God, which means you too are love, and love just is.
Yep.
Love is love. So tell me, what is a day like in the life of we gonna move Dr. Love Jones over for a minute, and we're gonna bring in your I want to tap into your true self now. I'm gonna push Dr. Love to the side because ego lives through that to you. I don't know if you but you know me, I like to keep it 100, so I keep my brother.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to push Dr. Love Jones to the side for a minute so Ego could sit down. And I'm going to ask yourself, I'm going to ask your fifth dimensional self, Javone, to step up and step forward and come from a place of that love that he said that he is. Okay? So what would you say is a day like in the life of Javone Jones? Just like in the morning, are there any steps that you take? Is there any particular regimen that you follow that helps keep you inspired or helps to keep you going forward? You know, what is a day like for you?
Well, before I can start about in the morning, it's also you have to start with what you go to sleep with at night. And the truth is that you have to be careful what you go to sleep with, as far as your thoughts,
Right.
as far as what you're thinking. So a lot of times that it makes it easier to get up in the morning is if you listen to something inspirational, get some affirmations before you go to sleep. And when I wake up, I'm already got that, that positive vibe as in going. So all I gotta do is continue. Going to say my prayers. That's one of the things I do is thank God for the day, because one of the things you have to do is give gratitude and just be thankful for being able to wake up.
Right.
And then from that, as I go to work, because I work a full-time job at a place that I'm not caring in the work to work for, but I'm there and it's taking care of my everyday needs. But I arm myself and guard myself with just that, for one, love. Understanding that, when you guard yourself with love, that means you can never allow anything, any situation to get you way off center.
Right.
You center yourself. So if anybody come at you wrong or whatever, or, someone brings negativity, you don't carry that with you.
Right.
So I tend to arm myself and be prepared to go and face the day. And I have great days. I don't have bad days no more.
Right.
There's no such thing as I had a bad day. That don't exist.
Yep.
Even when I get caught up in that thought process, I just kill it, because it's like, again, how could you have a bad day when you're alive?
Right. Right. And
the fact that
I think the greatest thing about that, when you are operating from your awakened mind and not your ego mind, is you actually learn that when you see the junk, somehow you created it. So you kind of and you ask yourself, okay, what did I do this week, or what did I say? Because sometimes it might not be something you did that day. It could be something that throughout the week you had just been emanating that vibration about something else. And what happens is the universe will yield back to you things that will bring you emotion of fear. It may not even bring you what you were initially fearing. Like you may be over that particular aspect of fear that you felt about that one particular part of the story. But because that vibration is still out there, there's going to be more things that's going to come to you.
Hold on. I'm checking.
You can hear me, Javone?
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna operate from here. All right. So yeah, I learned on my journey, even more so now, just with me dealing with so many different coaches, like a lot of my blocks are being revealed to me. Even just listening to motivational CDs. I don't really waste my time watching videos that don't do anything for me, that don't feed my spirit. I have my moments if someone shows me like a funny video or something like that. I may watch it just real quickly, but I don't digest it. I think what's happening with me is because everything is shifting. I don't really care to see anything that's not gonna help propel me forward. I just like it's a waste of my time, my precious time, if it's not helping me, and it's not to say I don't think a good comedy is good, because you want to laugh, but you know what? Sometimes I don't need TV to laugh. I can sit right here and look at you and be like, and raise my vibration just like that and just feel good without watching anything, But that took work. You know what I mean? That took me watching high vibrational videos and listening to CDs that teach me about who I am and who I have become, to where I'm very mindful of the things that I'm downloading into myself, because those things control your emotions. You know, they control what you're seeing in your days, what you're seeing in your nights, you know. And anytime that you're in a disagreeable vibration, you have to ask yourself, what did I do to get there? Something is not going right, you ask yourself, what did I do to receive that? So you check yourself. You don't get mad, you know, you don't get mad. You just like, okay, I'm fighting.
Yeah.
Arguing with my boss. My boss just pissed me off. Now, what was I emanating that would cause me to have to feel what I'm feeling right now? You know, I'm learning so much. It's amazing. This path is amazing. Don't you think this path is amazing?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes.
it's gorgeous. You learn so many different things about. It's not even who you thought you was. You learn that you are a completely different person.
True. True.
Yeah, that program you goes out the window and the true you shows up. And then, you know, that's the beautiful thing. So we all go through some challenges, you know, as we come into awakening ourselves. What was it that brought you to this place? What was it? What was your story? What was your experience that caused you to want to begin changing the lives of people by helping them shift their mindsets?
All right. The one thing to go back to tell my story is this. I started off from, and I'm gonna tell you, from the time I was 2 years old, I was diagnosed with chronic asthma. That kept me in the hospital a lot. As a kid, I was in and out the hospital because of that basic. And then what happened is, as I got older, from the time I went from, by the time I started going to school, being in the hospital, I literally had no social life. I had no outside living. So what ended up happening is I ended up getting sent to special ed school all my life. I've been in special ed school, and I've had a speech disability, quote unquote speech disability, and quote unquote I have a learning disability. And the reason why I said quote unquote is because that's somebody else ruling on my abilities. I didn't believe that. I didn't agree with that. But, you know, being my lack of social skills and everything, the same things I didn't develop. So that's why I was placed in those environments, and I couldn't speak against it.
Right.
But I never felt that I belonged there. Like, I always felt that I was better than that. I felt like I could hang with any type of school. I was sitting there trying to look at getting in prep schools, and you know, inquire about that. You know, because it's just that, even though, and trust me, I had insecurities based on that. You know. As far as how I view myself, I never had a positive view of myself until recently. So that's the thing that people don't understand, is that I really didn't have that. But then also, if you combine that with the fact that I was a special ed kid, I didn't have a great view of how I was. So it just allowed me to sink into a hole where I just got myself in a position where I just felt like I had to copy everything.
Right.
Now, for those who can't really see it, I am 6'4", 200 plus pounds. I was always tall for my height. So being uncoordinated, being tall, and trying to copy other people is not a good combination. It's definitely not. But what happened is that I tend to start, you know, following the crowd. Even though I was a leader, don't get me wrong, I was never a follower. One thing my mother always said to me as a kid is always be a leader, never be a follower. Right. But when you don't know your true self, you have to cling on to something.
Yeah.
And that's for anybody. You have to cling on to something, because you cling on what you feel is relatable to you, even though it's not really your true you. So from that, I end up even though I had my insecurities, I was always confident within myself. I was confident in whatever I wanted to change, I could change. So it's almost like a paradox. Right. That even though I felt like I couldn't do certain things, but whatever I felt I could do, I did it. So it's like, and so as I got older, once I got confident, by the way, to go back to school is, even though I went to special ed school, I was a valedictorian twice. And it's because I allowed myself not to have a ceiling. And if they placed a ceiling over me that I felt that wasn't good enough, I felt the need to not only go through it, destroy it. Right. So, and as I got older, going to college years, when I went to college, the first time I've been in a normal educated environment.
Right, right.
And being out in special ed school, certain things I could have took advantage that would have helped me in college that I choose not to, because I had the first opportunity to not have a label on me as being special ed.
Right. Okay.
And I wanted that, and I respected that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so from that aspect, I ended up becoming a person. What changed me into the person I am now is when I became a father. You know, my daughter was born in a situation where I wasn't working, I wasn't providing, but I ended up changing that. I ended up changing the circle of people around me. And but when you go through and you hit what we call rock bottom, is that when you learn your true self? Is that when you learn who you really are, what pain you can deal with, what you go through? And since then, I stopped being afraid of taking chances. I've started becoming more aggressive, you know, intelligently aggressive, but still being aggressive and having this fearless type confidence that I have now. And I'm proud of who I am today, and I truly love who I am. I love me, and I love what I went through, because if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be who I am now. So that's my story, and by where I'm at right now.
and that's an amazing story. At least, like, you used your challenges to help you come up. You use your challenges to show up. You know what I mean? To show your true self. So, briefly, tell us something about you that people don't know. Like, we know you're a life coach and all of that wonderful stuff, and you're a father. So tell us, like, a hidden secret that people may not really know about you.
I am a big R&B head. I love R&B music. Like, I love music, period. And people that don't know, I was always around music. But I'm always gonna like rap. But R&B is that thing for me. Like especially 90s R&B. That's that work for me.
That's that Dr. Love music. You know what I
mean? Of course. You know.
That's what's up. No, you were gonna say something. I mean, I know we got 5 minutes before the system shuts us off or whatever. So I'm gonna target some things where what is your method? If I came to you, what would be what are the type of people that you're trying to help? Like, who is your tribe? And I'm not sure. See, I have to be a little mindful because I'm not sure of if you're familiar with a lot of the terminology that I've encountered, you know, but I want to teach it to you. So that's why I'm going to speak to you this way so that you can learn it.
Yeah.
All right. So who is your tribe? Your tribe is your client avatar. Your client avatar is the people who you believe that you are here to help. Like, who are you trying to reach with your gift as a mindset coach? Who is it that you're trying to reach? Are you trying to reach young men? Are you trying to reach middle-aged women? Are you trying to teach entrepreneurs? Like, who is your target audience? Because once you get understanding of like your target audience, that's how you can actually generate income based on what it is that you're trying to do as a mindset coach, because then your mind will be set as to the people that you're calling in. So
that's a great question. Okay. And like, I generalize when I say everyday people, because I feel like, you know, there's everyday people that goes on. But when I speak, if I go break it down to the average person, I would say millennials. Those that's within the age of 36, 37 to 15. I talk to the millennials, and that's the generation I'm in, and I don't know if by ages, but majority of us in that's on this call. And the reason why I talk to those because I feel like those are people that don't understand the power that they have in the type of generation that we're in. Because this is a generation, this is the information generation.
Right.
Like,
let me share with you that your client avatar are people within that age range that are open to receive what it is that you're giving, because it's a lot of 15 to 37-year-olds that are still asleep.
That is definitely not open.
So I'm just trying to help you out in the same token because you're my brother, and I want you
to appreciate it.
I want you to grasp it the same way that I'm grasping it. I want you to grasp it so that so that's your avatar. Your avatar is those people who are open to receive what it is that you have to give and willing to make changes. Because, you know, some people not even really willing to make changes. You could post all day, they could watch your video and don't think anything else about you. But you want those people who are actually going to see your video, be inspired by your video, and take action based on the video that you put out, you know?
Yeah, trust, and that's fact. That's fact. You know, the open mind. I'm glad you definitely pointed me in that, you know, in that direction. Because to me, you know, I break it down to three people because I know we got a minute left. There's three people that I consider in this world. There are people that still sleep. That's, you know, and those are the people that's being controlled by the environment. They're reactors instead of proactive people, and they don't have an understanding of what's going on. Then they have the conscious people.
Right.
That's the good and the bad. They have like good conscious people that knows what's going on, but they have some that knows what's going on and allow that negativity to halt them in a process.
Yep.
And then you have the enlightened mind, which is the person that has the knowledge of what's going on, but don't let none of that affect them because they know that they control their own reality. So I break it down to those three people. Now, of course, the enlightened mind, we could just keep on enlightening each other every day. Like, you know, me, you, TK, anybody that in my circle, we can enlighten each other every day. But it's just those other two, those are the ones that I deal with the most, especially the ones that are asleep. They the ones, if they're asleep and they're open, but those are the ones that's hard to be open because they're not even realizing they're having a problem.
Right. That's so true. That's so true. I know. Oh, my God. It's 9/11. This is probably gonna cut you off, but we can bring you back in under another set. That's if Leah doesn't mind starting at 9:30, just to allow you to finish up. But that's up to you, Leah. Are you okay with starting 10 minutes from now, or?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's
I'm
fine.
good.
Not you. I'm talking to Leah because now you're on her time.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm sorry.
All right.